Hey everybody. Well, when you hear that music, you know what's going on. I'm Margot Levette, back here, another episode, Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Today, we always talk about her business, her voice, her conversation. Today, I am going to have a conversation with Cindy Lee. I'm going to bring her out in a moment. She is the founder of National Bucket List Day. You're probably asking, Margot, why are we talking about a bucket list? Why are we talking about national holidays? Is this something man-made? Well, keep listening to Cindy. She's been around these national days for some time, and I think you're going to come away quite intrigued. It piqued my attention, and I think it's worth a conversation. So let me go ahead and lower this music, and we're going to bring on Cindy Lee. Woohoo! Cindy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Celebrate every day.
Man, isn't that the truth? As we spoke of before we even came on, we spoke of the people in Turkey and Syria minding their own business and went to bed or whatever they were doing, and devastation came their way. COVID. So show us that your T-shirt one more time. Yeah. Celebrate every day. And that is exactly what we are going to do today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pull this music on down, and we're going to get into the heart of the subject, because Cindy she talks about, first of all, she's a fascinating lady anyway.
Thank you.
I find her, she's a lady that has her hands in many different pots. And if I put her into three categories, she's a woman who comes from gratitude, much joy and industry, and don't play her cheap. She is an entrepreneur. She is a businesswoman. So before we go into national days of celebration and the National Bucket List Day, which is where we're going to focus, I want people to understand who Cindy Lee is. And you brought up something very interesting at the very top of this conversation, and you spoke of something about Princess Diana and gratitude. Take us on into that conversation, which is going to let people better understand who you are.
Yes. So when Princess Diana got married, I was, I believe, 16, 17 years old, and I sent her a letter. And I got a letter back with the Buckingham Palace crest on there. Thank you for wishing the princess, a great wedding, blah, blah, blah. And so that kind of actually where it all started, in living in gratitude. And my mom has always taught me to give someone a gift to make them smile. And in my book, I talk about the 1,000-watt smile. What are you doing to add 1,000-watt smiles to those that you cross paths with?
Wow. Well, I just have one quick question. How did that make you feel when you saw that coming through the mail? It was like, holy cow, how'd you feel?
Pretty amazing. And I didn't know until right about a year ago that it happened on my birthday. July 29th, her wedding was on my birthday. I mean, that was many, many years ago. So, wow, it's just like how powerful all these years later, it's at full circle. And not only that, I do a lot of orphanage work and I do a lot of charity work. And I got that from Princess Diana, because there's actually a picture in my book that has one side of her at the orphanage, and then the other picture has one side of me at an orphanage. I used to be in this travel club that had a little roller sand, the little roller sign, and the kids were attacking to get that sign. So it's kind of full circle to see those two pictures side by side.
Oh, wow. The irony. Big world, small world. You're here in Southern California. She's across the pond. That's amazing. You spoke of your book, and we are going to touch on your book in a few minutes. But I just want to elaborate on how you began. It came to your mind and your full attention to pay attention to these national days of celebration, and how you incorporate them into your business and into your life, and why the rest of us should do so.
Well, in a minute, we'll actually go through some months here for the month of March, and then also the upcoming April cruise. We'll talk about some days on that as well. I actually started sharing national days around 2015 and just sharing every day. And everyone would say, well, you want to know National Day? Go to Cindy's page. And then in 2020, I actually reached out to the staff at National Day Calendar. I said, do you have any kind of ambassador program? They're like, as a matter of fact, we do. So I'm one of their celebration ambassadors, and being an ambassador is really lucrative. You have to actually have your social media accounts and be active, and you have to post, I believe, at least once to 3 times a week. And you have to use the National Day Calendar hashtag. You got to do the actual day hashtag and celebrate every day hashtag. And it's really great for podcasters like ourselves because they'll do a whole story on you as well. And then there's a little section there of your favorite national days.
Wow.
So it's a really great way to get in front of media as well. See, it's National Donut Day. You could collaborate. Just the other day on Thursday was National Pizza Day. And through a local friend of mine, I actually met a financial advisor who decided he wants to have a National Pizza Day event. So he hired a pizza person who actually comes out on site. Also some wine, the person who sells wine, and then also a 360 photo booth. So that's a collaboration. So collaboration is what I talk about in this book. And it's so important to utilize and leverage the National Day and also have a collaboration with other businesses. See, on December 8th, it was Chocolate Brownie Day. And also the 30th was Bacon Day. So I collaborated with a company, with a small, amazing breakfast house in Huntington Beach. I did a whole story on their business. We went in the kitchen. We did 3 bacon dishes. And it's just a really great way for me to pay it forward. Because what you want to be is you want to be the person who is the connector, not the person who is just trying to always get the sale. You want to build those relationships and build that rapport. And that's how you start the referral process and rapport process, by using the National Day Calendar and leveraging it.
And you're bringing attention to what's going on in the community. So it's a win-win, whichever way you go. That's incredible. That is not an angle, and I shouldn't even call it an angle, but that is not a posturing, positioning that a lot of people take. But how I can see how that works, really and truly. So you know the names of these when these holidays are coming up. I mean, you're fully invested. And it looks like the Bucket List Day, National Bucket List Day is where this conversation really needs to be headed.
Yeah.
And that's coming up in March, you say?
April 24th.
April 24th. Well, can you back us up into some of the national holidays that we need to be aware of for March, take us on into April, and then we want to land on this Bucket List Day, because there's a reason why we need to talk about National Bucket List Day.
Exactly. So let me see here for March. So let me just go through here really quickly. So the first is Peanut Butter Lovers Day. So think of a way that you could pay it forward to a local business or a business that sells that type of thing. Say, for instance, like a bakery. So you can go ahead and buy 2 or 3 dozen cookies, and then you go to a real estate office and drop that off. Hi, my name is Cindy. Hi, my name is Margot. Not about business, but I see you're an amazing business here in the area, and I want to support you. And today I want to drop off 2 dozen peanut butter cookies. And then you start building that relationship. Again, it starts the referral process of being someone who cares, because people don't care until they know that you care, right?
True.
Okay, and then Banana Cream Pie Day. So what you can do for that, you could either visit a local bakery, or if you have a system like Mailbox Power, Send Out Cards, or Snapfish, one of those online systems where you could send a gift card. So you could do some kind of gift card that's based on that type of item. For instance, Cheesecake Factory. Does a Cheesecake Factory have banana cream pie? If they do, send somebody that gift card up at someone's business to do that. Let's see what else we have here.
Like that. I like these ideas.
Soup It Forward Day. That's a good one. Just do a little, I'm not too familiar with that day, but I'm actually going to be fine-tooth combing all the months. I'm actually on my last chapter right now, which is going to probably take another 3 weeks. And it's picking 5 or 6 different days, weeks, and months. out of each month and putting it in this book. And then I have a blog that's going to have my full list. We have over 1,500 days. All my days aren't 1,500, but I do have probably, I would say 300 or 400 that I really like. And then
So
we
real
have,
quick, if a person wanted to go ahead and actually incorporate this, I mean, it's an amazing way to pay it forward, to form relationships that are genuine, and you're actually moving within a industry that maybe you're familiar with or you're not familiar with, and all we have to do is pay attention to these days that you're bringing to our attention, and that's we're talking about PR, relationship building up
yes.
on our own exposure. This is gold. Keep going, Cindy Lee. This is great.
Alrighty, March 4th. It is National Sons Day. So what are you going to do for your sons? Are you going to go, you live in Southern California, you're going to go surfing, you're going to go have tacos afterwards, or if your son lives out of the area, are you going to send him a nice gift from Home Depot for their house, or a gift certificate for him and his girlfriend or himself, or if he's married, do something that's going to be a whole family gathering. There's so many different things for National Sons Day. And let me see what else we have here. I'll go through a little bit here. International Women's Day is the 8th.
Gotcha.
And I want to do a big plug for Miss Deborah Thorne. That's how we met. And I believe she has an upcoming event like that or on that day. So if everybody wants to look up her information, Margaret or I will put the information here in this chat here on this podcast.
Yes.
So let's see what else we have. Baked Scallops Day. So you could support a local business. If you want to get the word out on hashtag seafood bucket list in the local restaurant, and you could actually meet with the chef, they could do a demo, and you could repurpose that video on all your social media. Plant a Flower Day. So that kind of goes to cultivating the relationship. So the company that I'm in, where we could actually send cards and gifts, there's actually a little seed, forget-me-nots, that you could actually send with a card. So that's a really great idea there. Or stop by a local nursery and just drop a nice plant off at a local business. A random business, maybe you don't know them very well, you want to get to know them, you just drop off a nice little gift based on the National Day.
And Cindy, what day is that? Plant a Flower Day?
That is the 12th of March.
March 12th. I'm looking at the time. Take us on into April, because I definitely want us to be able to touch bases about the bucket list, day. That's important.
There's another one here that, okay, 1 second here. Okay, we got corned beef and cabbage day, another way to pay it forward to your restaurant there. And a lot of these will be on my blog as well, so you'll be able to see the entire full list.
Okay.
Single Parent Day is the 21st. That's super important to acknowledge the single parents in your life. Yeah. Here you go, the 22nd, National Goof Off Day.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a few that I really need to mention. The 23rd, National Puppy Day. Like, what is your puppy bucket list? Like, for me, I want a yellow lab or a black lab. That's my puppy bucket list. Cheesecake Day, you want to support a local business there. And just pick a couple more here. Nevada Day, you want to pay it forward to all your friends in Las Vegas, Reno, friends who live out in Nevada. What are you going to do to make a difference? Send them a nice gift in the mail based on that day. Doctor's Day, just a few months ago, I had COVID, and I actually made a mug for my doctor here at Kaiser. So just little things like that are pretty amazing.
And we're building relationships. We're forming relationships.
Definitely. Okay, so now we have April.
Wow. Just give us a few here in April. What's going on here in April? Because April is right around the corner, even though we're coming out of it's right here with us.
Well, since I'm doing the cruise the 22nd through the 29th, so let's go over those days. So It is National Guitar Month, or actually International Guitar Month. And so what we're doing is we're going to be at Sammy Hagar's bar there in Cabo San Lucas, and we're going to buy swag. We're going to do special little videos because he has a whole section there where his band plays. So that'll be for National Guitar Month. It's also National Humor Month. We know what April 1st is. And so we're going to be going to the Carnival Panorama Cruise Ship Comedy Club to celebrate that. And then the 22nd is National Earth Day. If you live near a beach, definitely get back and do a beach cleanup. Let me see what else we have. The 24th, Pigs in a Blanket Day. And guess what else?
Baked beans? I don't know.
National Bucket List Day.
Oh, here we go. This is the one, the 24th, April 24th. Can we stop right there?
Yes.
Because I see the time is moving on, and I really want you to elaborate on National Bucket List Day. And when we were off camera, it really did strike me that we don't know when we're going to be on the other side of the dirt, as they say. So how important to you is it that we create a bucket list and actually take action and check off these things that really are important to us, that black lab or that yellow lab that you were speaking of? How important is that day to us?
And a lot of us really don't want to vacation, or they don't want a bucket list. They don't think it's really necessary. And a lot of us won't take a vacation until we retire. But I hate to say it, we may kick the bucket before we retire. You know, we just don't know. The man upstairs knows when our last day of breath is going to be. So we need to live every single day in celebration. We need to surround ourselves by those who celebrate us, not tolerate us. And we just need to make a difference. And I actually, my book, I'm kind of tossing up the idea for the bucket list book. It might be called the 50 to 90 bucket list, because that's how I started. I was in my 50s. I'm like, well, what am I going to do from 50 until in my 90s? So that's just huge for me. And in my case, actually, something health-wise happened, and I seen myself just fading away. I was existing my whole entire life. So that's why I started my bucket list brand. I'm actually the OG bucket list coach. I'm the original bucket list coach. And a couple of years ago, I'm like, get rid of bucketlistcoach.com. I really don't need it. And now someone else has it. But I'm the original one. So
you're the
it
original.
all started based on I see myself existing, and it was scaring me. And I seen, when I worked for UPS many years ago, I seen a lot of my friends pass away within a year to 2 years time of retirement because of the stress of the job. Mm-hmm. So it's really important. Do what you love what you do. I can't express that enough.
Gosh. Plus, you went to a Hollywood premiere or something that
dealt with just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, tell us about that also. So to me, I think, Cindy, a bucket list is also a guide, and it gives us permission to do these things that we wouldn't ordinarily do for ourselves.
Yes.
And say, hey, I want to do this. I'm going to do it. Even if it means I'm only going to work 4 hour days, 4 hours out of the day for 3 days. Give yourself permission to do that, because one day you're not going to do it at all.
But it's more than just travel. So if you go to nationalbucketlistday.com, I talk about the author's bucket list. Like, a lot of people are afraid to write, or like for me, I'm not a very good writer. I have good content. So write a book and have someone edit it. And there you go. You mark that off your list. A business bucket list, Anthony Robbins, if you want to attend an Anthony Robbins seminar, or you want to start a new business, you're not happy with where you're at, you want to do what you love, just start a new business, because you don't know your last day. So if you don't try, you won't know, right? And then we have like an earth bucket list. So like a waterfall bucket list, go to Zimbabwe, go to Hawaii. We have a girlfriend bucket list, take a massage together, go to Spain together, just all these different girl things, take a wine and paint class. So if you go to that website, you could see all these different ideas, but it's more than just travel. It's taking a chance and just living your life, because we just don't know. We could walk out that door, we could slip on the sidewalk and hit our head, and then that's it. That's the end of our life. So what are you doing to create that legacy? It's so important to create that legacy.
And let's have these experiences right now. Why do we have to wait? What are we waiting for? These are experiences that we can, they're conversation pieces. These are experiences we can pass on to others, our grandkids, our own kids, So we get so caught up in life. I'm getting on a soapbox. Let me move this conversation on along to your book. I love the idea, because you've been involved in communicating with others, referrals,
Yeah.
building relationships. You are an expert at building relationships and following up. And the national days. Can you take us into this book that you're working on? When you project it's going to be available for us to purchase? And finally, final question of the day is: are you coming up with webinars, seminars, something that's going to actually help a person tie in their business with the national days of holiday, and how we can actually form relationships with what you're doing?
Well, I do have a workshop where I teach people how to follow up, teach people how to build that relationship. And that's super important because a lot of people, I mean, I will go ahead and tag the industry, real estate industry. Real estate agents are actually the worst at follow up. For one day, they don't have time. And a lot of them actually just do their thank yous through a text or just, something really minimal. So we all hear about know, like, and trust, right? How about being know, like, trusted, and remembered? That is so key here. So in my book, I talk about it's 30 years of content, what to do before, during, and after a meeting or a Zoom, how to behave on Zoom. When you're on Zoom and there are two speakers, instead of promoting your business, promote their business, promote the speaker. And then say, for instance, like I do this one every Thursday at 1 o'clock. And it's the publisher interviewing the author. So I don't post my stuff in there. I'll say connect with Patrick. He's the one who's interviewing, and connect with Margot. She's the one who has this book. Make sure that you go to her Facebook page. Here's the link. Make sure that you go to Amazon, buy the book, share the book. So just things like that. I have a whole chapter on how certain industries should follow up. What is the value of remember? And also at the end, I talk about living your joy. And it's a little teaser to my bucket list book that's going to be coming. So I would assume within the next 6 months that will be on Amazon. Right now, I'm working on the last couple chapters. And I can't stress enough, be the connector and be someone who cares about other people. Like we talked about earlier, people don't care until they know that you care.
Mm-hmm. This is important stuff. And it sounds like some people have been in business for years and years, but it's mandatory that we pick up a copy of your book and refresh ourselves and just relearn, because it's so easy to get into a groove, and especially if we have old habits that do not serve us any longer. And sounds like, 30 plus years into one book. That's a lot of wisdom. You've seen a lot, you've heard a lot, you've experienced a lot, everything under one umbrella. I think that that's noteworthy. I really, really do. Any idea about what the title of your book will be? I know you said it's going to be on Amazon, but I know, and people will go and keep checking for Cindy Lee, but any idea about what the book will be entitled?
Growing your business through referrals and national days.
Okay. Grow your business, have the referrals, and use those national days. I sure thank you for giving those wonderful examples about how to use the national days. Just don't think about, and you're a perfect ambassador for such a thing. And it makes you think, because you are in servant position. And I hear you say over and over again, give, give, give. And too many of us don't do that. We're so busy with the doing. Do you agree with that?
Definitely. Always lead with integrity and always lead as a servant leader.
Well, I'm definitely getting a copy. I am definitely getting a copy, because this is important stuff. If we are going to, we all know about AI. That is all. Everybody's talking about AI. But Cindy, and this is a question just popped into my mind. I have to ask you, with AI in mind, and we're going to go into this, we're going to hang around this know, like, and trust factor. Don't you think that using AI, when we incorporate the national holidays and we put in our own experiences with different people and we add that into the AI text and conversation, that's how we're going to better utilize that software? What do you think?
I definitely agree, and it all goes back to just building those relationships. One thing I want to talk about before we close is, and this happens a lot, happens on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and the person really doesn't care about you. All they want to do is send you an 8-paragraph dissertation on why you need to buy their product. In that conversation, did they say, Cindy, Margot, I would love to schedule a one-on-one so I could get to know you and you could get to know me, and I could connect you to my sphere of influence? How many people actually do that? Very little. They want to just put their information out there. So you have to tell that person that you care about them and you want to get to know them, not just this is my product and that's it. Because it's on LinkedIn, especially, it's really bad on LinkedIn.
It seems like that just happened too. LinkedIn didn't used to, that was not the way business was done on LinkedIn, but now it's just bombastic, explosive, and it's really kind of embarrassing. What do you think about that?
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's because we're not taught correctly. We're maybe have not had enough personal development. And that's in closing, I want to talk about one thing also is DMOs, daily method of operation. So what are you doing for your daily method of operation? Are you reciting I am statements that are going to get you to your goal? And the I am statement, you can actually create an I am statement of something in the future. You may not have it now, but if you tell yourself enough times, you will get it. And of course, call 5 people a day to express gratitude, not about the sale, just to say you're grateful. So that's a couple daily DMOs that I like to suggest.
Oh, wow. That's saying a lot. And wait a minute, I see the pitfall. I see where I'm falling short. In all honesty, if I can be very honest, that's why what your book is so, it's so timely and so necessary, because the world has a way of, seems like it's sped up since COVID. We were in this nice little lull and we were kind of just moving along, and we actually saw and heard people. But now we've sped up, and both of us are in Southern California. The freeways are crazy again. People are crazy again. There seems to be no real love, caring, seeing, hearing. We don't hear each other anymore. But with your way of doing business and taking the time to nurture these relationships, and this is nothing new. We've heard it before. But now we if we're going to set ourselves apart, we need to do these things. Humanity needs to be heard and seen. And if we're, and the National Days is just a good, fun segue into that conversation. And when when you relate to me, when you relate that national holiday to a person's business or their particular interest or their book or whatever, that's a part of I hear you and I see you. What say you to that? And on that happy note, I'm going to close it out and let you have the last word.
Amy's F-It List. It is now streaming as of yesterday. That's the red carpet that I went to a couple weeks ago. So that's Amy's F-It List. And it will resonate with a lot of us who aren't living their life to their potential.
Mm-hmm. Do we find that over on YouTube?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Tubi and a few other ones. Yeah, if you actually go to National Bucket List Day on Facebook, you could see the recent post about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Finally, dear lady, how do we find you? Give us an email address or just how do people reach out to you and stay in contact with you, because we really want to know when this book is coming out.
So for the book, you could just go to surfcityconcierge.com, and for the travel component, bucketlistcoachtravel.com.
Okay. Hey, may want to
Thank
be able to
you.
go on the cruise there and actually kind of get away. I think that people are they had that coming. Why not? So two different ways to get with Cindy, and I'll make sure I have that in the show notes. So
One more
this is
thing.
yes, yes.
The 27th of April is National Prime Rib Day.
Ooh, ooh. Hey, team up with a restaurant and who knows? Who doesn't like
Yeah,
prime
Lowry's
rib?
Prime Rib. I'll be on the
Hmm.
cruise ship that day, but yes. So go ahead and
Hey,
celebrate National Prime Rib Day.
I love it. I love it. Wow. This has been wonderful. Told
Thank
you
you, dear.
guys, this is going to be a good
Woo-hoo.
conversation, something totally, totally different. But I hope eye-opening because, we joked around, gave you a lot of information, but there's a serious note here. We have to see each other. We have to hear each other. And when we incorporate the national days, we really are interested in connecting rather than just the sale, then we can get some business done. Let's just do it the old fashioned way, okay? But, let's just see each other, know, like, and trust, and operate from integrity, as Cindy says. So,
Yes.
my guest today, Cindy Lee. It's been a pleasure. I want to thank
Thank
you.
you.
Um, and do know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep you posted concerning her book coming out. And this is not a one and done. We had the conversation, we published it. No, I'm going to repurpose this because there's a lot of meat here. So that's why I'm glad that we kept it at pretty much 30 minutes, laying the foundation. There's a lot of content here. So take time to take a good, hard listen, take actionable steps right now and share it out because it's going to help your bottom line. I'm sure of that. I'm Margot Levette, her business, her voice, her conversation. We'll be back. See you next time. And thanks for joining us. See you later. Bye bye.